the Argentina game took center stage as well for a lot of Jamaicans as well, as you know, vast majority support that team as well. Your thoughts about how they got on? It's not the first time that we're seeing that number 10 come to the occasion.
Yeah, I was listening earlier and I thought Jhamal actually, made it very, very clear. When you're a big player, you show up in big games. That's pretty simple. The top quality players do that all the time. You saw it, Poland, Lewandowski. You saw it with France, with Mbappe, and then obviously Messi. It wouldn't have been scripted if Messi didn't actually show up in that game. And he was just right on the money. He was there. He was threatening at different points.
Right.
Obviously needs support, but did what he needed to do. Low grounder. I thought that the keeper was unsighted. Had it been probably Martinez in goal, a bigger goalkeeper, get a hand to it or something. But you can't take nothing away from the goal, and I think it was a very intense game. So for the result, I think it's a decent enough result for them.
It just goes to show the talent, especially what you saw from the second half, from that Argentine outfit. The class stood out there on the field.
Well, I mean, for Argentina and Argentina fans, I'm sure they probably have seen this kind of performance before. From we were watching the Saudi game, we were saying, if it happens to anybody, it tends to happen to Argentina. Right? These kind of shock defeats in the group stages. But they are past champions and they are current South American champions. So they at least know how to get a victory. I mean, with the exception of that Saudi game, they have been, or at least avoiding defeat for a long time. So I suppose if you look at that, you probably wouldn't have been too worried. And, when you have one of the greatest of all times on your team, the truth is there's not a whole lot you can do wrong. One way or the other, he's going to get it done, or you expect him to. And if he doesn't do it, then one of the other talented players will get it done. And that's what happened today. We got the GOAT himself, or one of anyway. And then you got one of the youngsters coming through and doing a thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that man, Lionel Messi, scoring today. That's his 8th World Cup goal. So CR7, 8 World Cup goals. Lionel Messi also 8 World Cup goals as well. So neck and neck at this stage. We'll see how that sort of seesaw goes. All right, let's now have a look at the groups, Group C and Group D, and we see the permutations, what lies ahead. The results today, what does it mean for each team as well? This is Group C, and it's Poland sitting pretty on top. They have 4 points. Argentina with 3. Saudi Arabia also with 3. And Mexico with 1. Jhamal, Mexico isn't out of it, is right? Because they could still get a result and progress.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things that happen in the World Cup normally, where you play your toughest games first and you try and get as much points out of that. And then, in the final game, when stakes are already high, emotions are running high as well. You just go out there and you play your absolute hardest. And absolute hardest Mexico versus absolute hardest Saudi Arabia. I would think Mexico would get that victory. That being said, I was talking about it off air before, and I was saying, Saudi Arabia are basically the home team, or a home team in this competition, because Iran and Saudi Arabia are right by Qatar. Yeah. So there's a lot of support that's like just across the waters or the sand in this case. And they would have traveled as well to come and support. So they have all of that. Plus they have the high coming off of a 2-1 victory over Argentina. You don't do that normally. And you got that. But I mean, I recognize what the challenge would be for Mexico. But I still think they can do it.
Yeah, and as well, Owen,